We've all seen the articles and heard the stories on the Mashpee Wampanoag Tribe Land and Trust, but how many of us really know what's going on? Lucky for you, we're going to dive right into this within the next few minutes. Welcome to The Breakdown. As we all should know, the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe was federally recognized in 2007. Shortly after that, the tribe began the application process for land and trust. What is land and trust, you ask? In this case, land and trust is whereby the Secretary of Department of Interior acquires the title to property and holds it for the benefit of a Native American tribe. This land that is held in trust by the DOI is referred to as reservation land, because only the federal government has any say over that land, whereas the state and local authorities do not. In order to receive land in trust, a tribe must prove they are Indian, as defined in the Indian Reorganization Act, Section 479. The government has split it into 3 definitions. The Mashpee Wampanoag tribe was granted land in trust in 2015 under the Obama administration when applying under the 2nd definition of Indian. All persons who are descendants of such members who were, on June 1, 1934, residing within the present boundaries of any reservation. The reservation was spread amongst different boundaries in Mashpee and Taunton, and as we know, the land in Taunton was designated for economic development purposes, and in this case, to construct a $1 billion resort and casino backed by Malaysian investor, the Genting Group. Some of Taunton's residents got together to challenge the Department of Interior's decision to hold any land in trust for the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, i.e. the Littlefields. This suit brings us back to the 3 different definitions of Indian as stated in the IRA. The Littlefields argued that in order to be recognized as an Indian, under the 2nd definition, a tribe must also prove the 1st definition. The summer of 2016 brought the final ruling by federal court judge William Young of the Massachusetts District on Littlefields versus Department of Interior case. Judge Young favored the Littlefields argument and determined that the Secretary of Department of Interior did not have authority to take land in trust because the record of decision did not include the 1st definition. The Mashpee Wampanoag tribe thereafter appealed Judge Young's decision. The Department of Interior, whose decision was to hold land in trust for the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe under Obama's administration, has since abandoned the tribe to fend for themselves within this appeal under Trump's administration. Also, under Trump's administration, the new Secretary of Department of Interior issued the finding that they could not keep the 321 acres of trust land that was given to the tribe under the Obama administration.
That decision was a wrong decision. And someone said earlier today, you have to make decisions that are good and right and moral, not just politically correct. And sometimes that means taking a hit for the decision we make on behalf of another. And I'm asking you to reconsider the behavior of the department and the action. Because what happens to us in Massachusetts is going to spread right across the country.
Not even a month has passed since the tribe had its day in the First Circuit of Appeals, and the panel of 3 judges just released their determination to decline overturning Judge Young's ruling. The case revolved around the determination of ambiguity of 2 words within the statute, now and such. The Littlefields' primary argument was within the definitions, and the word such referred to such members who were under federal jurisdiction on June 1, 1934. The DOI's actual record of decision only included the 2nd definition when taking the land in trust. So the argument wasn't on whether or not the tribe was actually under federal jurisdiction in 1934, but the record of decision did not include the 1st definition of Indian. And why would it need to if there's 3 definitions for a reason? The Catawba Indian tribe is just one example of how a tribe can still be granted land in trust under the 2nd definition. The federal government didn't even know they existed, so it was actually known that they were not under federal jurisdiction in 1934, but were in fact living on an Indian reservation in South Carolina at the time of the IRA in 1934. The Mashpee Wampanoag tribe proved just the same, that they were in fact living on a reservation in 1934. But within this original suit and the appeal that was brought by the Littlefields, the only focus was on the actual wording of the statute to prove that the Department of Interior did not have the authority to hold land in trust for the tribe. The overanalyzation of the word was the focus of each argument, because the Littlefields were trying to prove that you needed both definitions because of this word, such, and that the tribe was trying to prove that because the Littlefields interpreted it this way, that there must be ambiguity within the statute.
The first question is not whether the reading is right or one reading is more natural or another is less natural. The question is whether more than one reading is permissible. And because it's not crystal clear that such necessarily refers back to the entirety of the antecedent clause, including because of the incoherence that results that you noted in questioning my brother, we result in ambiguity. There's no dictionary definition they have cited to or upon which the district court relied that says that such necessarily refers back to the entirety of an antecedent clause.
The IRA was developed after the termination era of Indians. During this time, the U.S. government took more than 90 million acres of all reservation land from tribes without compensation and sold it to settlers. The IRA was developed to remedy these actions, and within a remedial statute, if ambiguity is determined, the law must favor the remedial party, and in this case is the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe.
We are making the argument that the Department of Justice should have, who's our trustee, should have defended us and made it clear to Judge Young in the first place that the word such is ambiguous. And whenever something is shown to be ambiguous, the overriding spirit of the law must be on the side of the tribe to enforce the spirit of whatever the law is.
Not only is the term such naturally ambiguous when reading the statute, but it was also ruled to be ambiguous in the very court that this appeal was being heard.
In fact, in the only case in this circuit in which this court has had occasion to consider whether such necessarily refers back to the entirety of an unbroken antecedent clause, including, as the appellees say, without commas or other punctuation, it reversed the district court decision. The district court there held in Hogar Agua y Vida en el Desierto that such, in the context of the Fair Housing Act, necessarily referred to the entirety of the antecedent clause, unbroken by commas and the like.
So where does this leave the tribe? The tribe is faced with another blow within the judicial system to argue on grammar and words rather than facts of what is right and wrong, or even going along with the purpose of the IRA being developed in the first place. A group of local residents, citizens, have derailed this whole process for the first people of this country, going against their own federal government because they think they have the knowledge, entitlement, and ability to tell a nation of people who they aren't. And these narcissistic actions are being supported by more narcissistic people with deep pockets who are angry that they were declined licensing by the mass regulatory body. The Boston Globe states that Neil Bloom, a Chicago casino magnate, has helped finance the litigation against the tribe because his proposed casino project in Brockton was declined, with the tribe's potential casino as reasoning. Yet, the residents are sitting here for 6+ years, claiming that they are doing everything on their own for the purposes of what? To not have Indians in their backyard? Even though their backyard was originally stolen from the very people that just want to be friendly neighbors to them? They don't even want all the land that was taken, just sovereign rights over land the tribe already owns. History has proven time and time again that natives are peaceful and provide aid for those in need. They signed an MOU with the city of Taunton guaranteeing them millions of dollars each year generated from the casino. There's not one Native American tribe that is a threat to the American people. Not one. Especially the very one that greeted the Pilgrims in 1621 and gave them a treaty that gave this country 40 years of peace to start the foundations of the U.S. that we know today. 40 years of peace. This country has not seen 40 years of peace since then. But the tribe still perseveres. Land is still in trust. Massachusetts Congressman William Keating introduced the bipartisan bill, H.R. 312, the Mashpee Wampanoag Tribe Reservation Reaffirmation Act, to the House last year, which passed on a roll call vote and is waiting to go through Senate. H.R. 312 reaffirms the status of Mashpee's reservation and will prevent the DOI from disestablishing the tribe's reservation land. Despite efforts from President Trump and his supporters to derail this bill, the tribe keeps pushing forward to defend their existence. Tribal attorneys have filed a lawsuit in federal court in Washington, D.C. against the Department of Interior and DOI Secretary Ryan Zink. The complaint alleges that the agency failed to apply established law by contorting relevant facts and ignoring others to engineer a negative decision. The Mashpee Wampanoag tribe is just one of many in North America who are continuing to fight peacefully for their land. Only 8% of the 90 million acres of tribal land that was taken has been acquired by Native American tribes, and most of the land will not readily support economic development for the tribe to be completely independent and sovereign. And most reservation land is located far from the tribe's historical, cultural, and sacred areas, unlike Mashpee. If the tribe loses the land in trust, it risks much more than halting construction of a casino. It risks many tribal members and low-income families losing housing opportunities within the housing project in Mashpee. It risks Makaisa Wikyu preschool being shut down, so tribal children are again being cut from learning their education that is being taught in Wampanoag language. Throughout history, the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe has remained on the same land that their ancestors descended from, had to hide their culture, stop speaking their language, and forced to adopt Christianity in order to stay on the very land they keep getting denied the right to govern sovereignly by the same system that continuously tries to wipe out their entire existence.
I believe, this is a rally cry for all of Indian country, but the good people of America to come together. This is a human rights issue. To say a group of people, matter of fact, out of sight, out of mind, I don't care about you, so you're gone. That's just wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Only one person is in charge, and it's the creator. So we're still here.